Yo, what's up guys? How's it going? OG Kish back with another video. Today it's not a rant video. Today I kind of wanted to catch up in the MMA world, see what is going on in the MMA world. First thing is first, the next UFC event coming up was supposed to be Joanna Jedrzejczyk versus Michelle Waterson, and now apparently Joanna is not able to make weight. Therefore, the main event is basically canceled. But not really. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make a catch weight between, I believe it was Joanna and Angela Hill. So Angela Hill is supposed to be replacing Michelle Waterson because Michelle Waterson did not want to do a catch weight fight between Joanna and herself. Which, hey, I can agree with. At the end of the day, you're supposed to make your weight. And if you can't make it, and then all of a sudden Dana White's like, okay, we'll just do a catch weight fight. No, because you're not fighting at your normal weight. And that's just... yeah, whatever. At the end of the day, we're not getting that main event anymore, and that is that. Like, pretty shitty. I do think that it's going to be Angela Hill versus Joanna at a catch weight, and Waterson is apparently supposed to be moving to the 244 card, which is the BMF title between Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz. Should be sick, not gonna lie. It should be an amazing card. There's some pretty decent fights on that card, including the main event, which is hype as fuck. Alright, boys, moving on to what I want to talk about next. We have Isreal Adesanya, future fights, and we're kind of gonna get into the light heavyweight division here. Now, Isreal Adesanya, 18-fight win streak. So we're gonna get into Isreal Adesanya, 18-fight win streak, okay? Destroyed Robert Whittaker, basically knocked him out twice in one fight, right? You could say that basically happened. Now we have beef coming in with Paulo Costa and Isreal Adesanya, and I do think Isreal Adesanya puts Paulo Costa to bed. I mean, realistically, Kelvin Gastelum was a big, stocky dude. Although he was short, he had the muscle mass. Robert Whittaker was a pretty buff dude. Now we have Paulo Costa, this jacked fucking meathead. And to be honest, I think Isreal is going to just murk him like he's done everybody else so far. And we're not going to see a new champion in the middleweight division probably for quite some time. Now, this is where things could get interesting as, Isreal said he wanted to fight 3 or 4 people. I'm pretty sure he had some unfinished business, obviously, in that division. And then he said, well, I don't know if this is really going to go down, but apparently... he doesn't even give a fuck about Jon Jones anymore, which for good reason. At this point, you're a champion, and Jon Jones is apparently wanting to move up to heavyweight. But Jon Jones does stay at light heavyweight. The possible matchup between Isreal Adesanya and Jon Jones is there, and that would be a champ versus champ fight if Isreal can defend the belt. And I guess if Jon Jones gets a matchup anytime soon, if he can defend the belt, which honestly would be a very good fight in my opinion. We have two dudes who are very, very technical strikers in the octagon, and it would make for a very good matchup. Style-wise, these two are fucking insane. Jon Jones is, personally, although he's been winning, I feel like he's been coming a little bit down on... Jon Jones isn't at his... he's not in his peak anymore. He's not full potential in, picograms, etc. Anyway, guys, that's a thing that is going to most likely happen if Jon Jones doesn't get another opponent in light heavyweight and Isreal Adesanya continues murking people in middleweight. That is the matchup to do, and that is the matchup that makes sense, but it all depends on if Isreal even wants to do it after he does his thing. Moving on to our next topic, Fabricio Werdum wants to make a comeback. Okay, so we're looking at Fabricio Werdum here. Last time he fought was March 17th, 2018, and he got knocked out by Alexander Volkov. And if I'm not mistaken, Volkov is fighting someone soon. Am I wrong? He's fighting Junior Dos Santos. That is gonna happen. That should be a sick fucking fight. November 9th, 2019. Junior Dos Santos versus Alexander Volkov. Junior Dos Santos coming off of a loss against Francis Ngannou, which is just, he's a fucking beast. So I mean that makes sense. Alexander Volkov obviously coming off of a win. Coming off of a loss, sorry. Derek Lewis. What am I saying? Yeah, regardless, though. Fabricio Werdum wants to make a comeback. Sure, why not? He's 42, boys. let him come back. Why not? That doesn't really need to happen, but apparently he wants to come back to the octagon. I don't know, boys. I don't know. These big name fighters, these older big name fighters coming back to fight again, and they're just not pulling through because, you know, they're not in their prime anymore. They're not doing things they used to be able to do. Anderson Silva is a great example of that. BJ Penn is another great example of that, although BJ Penn isn't in the UFC anymore. Those are just two great examples of fighters who, you know, disappeared for a little bit, came back, and now here we are. I'm not saying that Verdum was gone for a long time, but then again, you know what I mean? You're out for a year, and you're also 42 years old. More than a year at this point. And yeah, Anderson Silva, his last win was Derek Brunson. Lost to Isreal 2019 and then got his leg absolutely blown out by fucking Jared Cannonier. So that I don't understand what the UFC is doing, but at the same time, it makes sense. You know, they're pulling the Scott Coker saying, yeah, we're going to do these matchups, make a little bit of money while the names are still somewhat hype. Whatever, at the end of the day. I mean, he beat Walt Harris, and Walt Harris just fucking beat Alexei Oleinik with a flying knee and punches. So, I don't know, boys. You tell me what you think about Fabricio Verdum coming back. Now, we're going to move on to Conor McGregor and his pathway. Where is he going? What is he doing? Watched Ariel Helwani's show. He had Mike Tyson on, and Mike Tyson was basically talking about the same thing. You know, he kind of went down the same pathway as Conor McGregor. You know, he had all the fame, he had all the money, started going down, you know, declining, going downhill. Conor McGregor, though, let's not talk about Mike Tyson. Let's talk about McGregor here. What is he going to do to come back? Now, I already made a video about this, kind of, with the whole Khabib thing. You know, if he comes back and he gets the instant title shot against Khabib before fighting anybody else, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get back into that, but that wouldn't really make sense. We talked about Justin Gaethje. We talked about Dustin Poirier. Could be interesting at the end of the day. You know, I didn't really talk about it in the video, the other options, but we talked about it off camera, me and a couple of my friends and the Combat Sports Central squad. Realistically, though, I do think he needs to fight somebody to kind of prove himself. He's been out for quite some time. You know, he definitely has to focus on himself. He was talking about, am I the whale or the fish at the end of the day? And you can't be falling for the bait. You can't be falling for the bait. Something around those lines. That's not a quote for quote what he said. If you want to fucking watch the video of him talking in the interview, you can. But that is that. Honestly, we're not going to talk about McGregor for too long here because I've basically already made a full video on that. We're going to talk about the middleweight division as a whole. Like, entirely. We have Paulo Costa versus Isreal Adesanya. That is, I guess, the next matchup for the champ, the new champion of the division. That's basically confirmed. You know, Isreal Adesanya was flipping him off. Paulo Costa was yelling at him. Realistically, that is the matchup that needs to happen next. Kelvin Gastelum. He says he was very disappointed after seeing the way Robert Whittaker performed at 243. Now, he can be upset about that, right? Like, he was supposed to fight Whittaker before Isreal Adesanya did, and then Whittaker pulled out. And, you know, he almost fucking died. He had to get hospitalized, etc., etc. Crazy shit. But Gastelum feels like he was robbed of his opportunity, but at the same time, I don't know, you know, Isreal Adesanya is coming up hot in the division. I mean, he's already the champion now after like a year and a half, if I'm not mistaken. Gastelum got his chance, and I do think he gets another chance because out of all the people that have fought Isreal Adesanya so far, I think Kelvin Gastelum put on a pretty good performance for the most part. Obviously, he started getting murked at some points in time, but he was one of the people that actually put Isreal Adesanya on the run a bit there for a sec. He hit him with some really good shots. He made Isreal kind of, you know, like I said, you know, he was not running away, but he had to back up a bit. He had to rethink a little bit of a strategy. Not really rethink a strategy, but you know what I'm trying to get at here. He had him on the run for a couple of seconds. Now, does Kelvin Gastelum get an instant title shot? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people that you could argue should get the next title shot in the middleweight division. Let's take a look at the middle. So we have Paulo Costa. That's basically a confirmed matchup. We have, honestly, Jared Cannonier, who just beat Jack Hermanson. Jared Cannonier's coming up as well. That would be interesting. Could we see a possible Jared Cannonier versus... Wait, no. Gastelum is already fighting someone. Kelvin Gastelum versus Darren Till is going to happen. The winner of that, okay, because Darren Till is moving up a weight class to fight Kelvin Gastelum. Now, this would be very interesting to see Darren Till win because he is ranked 9th in the welterweight division, fighting a ranked 4 Kelvin Gastelum. Now, this should be an interesting fight, actually. This is going to be a sick fucking fight. if Gastelum beats Darren Till, and the winner of Paulo Costa, Isreal Adesanya, Kelvin Gastelum probably gets the next title shot, unless Jared Cannonier can step in and somehow interrupt that. So we have Jared Cannonier, Darren Till, Kelvin Gastelum. Those are the 3 dudes that are in line next to most likely get a title shot. I would be very surprised to see Paulo Costa beat Isreal Adesanya and mix things up again, just because then we would have a rematch possibility if Paulo Costa can continue to keep the belt. I don't think Paulo Costa beats Isreal Adesanya, though. I think we see Isreal stay at the top for quite some time, and we see Isreal just slowly make his way through the rest of the middleweight division before he moves up, fights Jon Jones, blah, blah, blah. We said that shit earlier. It doesn't matter. What I'm getting at is Darren Till, Kelvin Gastelum, Jared Cannonier. The winner of those 2 fights, or that one fight, sorry, the winner of that fight of Darren Till, Kelvin Gastelum, do they get the next title shot, or does Jared Cannonier step up, fight the winner of that fight, and then the winner of that fight gets to fight Isreal Adesanya? Because Isreal Adesanya he's a killer right now. Everybody wants a piece of that. That's all there is to it. There is 4 people right now: Paulo Costa, Till, Kelvin, and Jared Cannonier. Those are the only 4 people at the moment who are getting a title shot. Now, if Jan Blachowicz moved down in weight and fought Jacare, that would be another whole storyline. That would be a completely different storyline, and that could be added in as well. But since Jacare is getting the fuck out of the middleweight division to fight bigger dudes, I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for me. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and sub. And if you enjoy this, I guess you want to see more of it, tell me what you want to see, because I could fucking do anything video-wise. And I guess I'll see you in the next video, boys. Peace. It's not the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Something just got announced, and I have to add it in. Holy fuck, ladies and gentlemen, the BKFC is... I'm so hyped right now. I'm running into my microphone. They are rerunning Knight vs. Lobov on November 16th. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, fucking shit. Oh, shit, I cannot make this up. Okay, it's not gonna fucking show, but man, I'm so hyped. Now the video's done. Just had to announce that in there as well. Thank you guys for watching, and fucking peace.